Okay, so 48. The recently negotiated North American Free Trade Agreement among Canada, Mexico, and the United States is misnamed because it would not result in truly free trade. Adam Smith, the economist who first articulated the principles of free trade, held that any obstacle placed in the way of the free movement of goods, investment, or labor would defeat free trade. So, since under the agreement, workers would be restricted by national boundaries from seeking the best conditions they could find, the resulting obstruction of the flow of trade would, from a free trade perspective, be harmful.
All right, what is our conclusion?
What did I write? Okay, I
Wait, go
I
to
wrote,
the what you write. Do it fast
yeah,
now. Don't
I
even.
wrote the first sentence. Now I'm like doubting it, but I wrote that the first sentence was the recently negotiated NAFTA agreement among Canada, Mexico, and the United States is misnamed.
Yeah, I think that's excellent. Isn't it funny when these questions are super old, but then like something happened recently where like you're like, I know what NAFTA
I
is.
know, yeah.
Okay, so we're saying, hey, the recently negotiated trade is misnamed. And then so how do we get there?
Because he starts to introduce like it's not really free trade, and he
But
gives
how
an
does he show that
example
it's really not free trade?
through Adam Smith's philosophy of economics of what free trade really is. And he says that basically there can't be any obstacle placed in the way of free movement.
Oh yeah, this is a tough question. Okay. So
This
what
was
is
tough.
the answer choice? I remember this one and I was like, I don't think I got this one right, to be honest, the first time I did it.
Yeah.
But you
So,
can get to it by process of elimination.
yeah.
So what did you say?
I chose E.
To responding to a different issue from the one posed.
I was because the reason I said that was because I was like, okay, it's misnamed. I get NAFTA is misnamed. But then I saw the last sentence and I said, okay, so under the agreement, workers will be restricted by national boundaries, um, uh, restricted by national boundaries from seeking the best conditions they could find. The resulting obstruction of the free flow of trade would be harmful. So I was like, oh, free flow of trade would be harmful. Misnamed. Those two are not the same thing.
Okay, but this is in support for.
Yeah, now I realize that.
Okay. All right, cool. So it's not, yeah, we're not responding to a different issue because all of this is at least, it's at least under the same umbrella, right?
Yeah.
So how I went about, I think I might have gotten this one right, but I remember saying ruling out alternatives. So we don't say like, it
There's
should be,
other.
there's other ruling out. I can't even think. Okay, we're saying it should be misnamed. So ruling out alternatives. Like I don't even know how you rule out alternatives of us needing to rename something.
Yeah, and it wasn't even like presented to us.
So using a term in two different senses, this is like equivocation. So it's saying like, do we use a word and then like use it in a different definition in a different way? So this is like tree bark and a dog barking.
I
Like,
didn't see that. Yeah.
yeah, no, I don't know what term it would be. I think
I was like free trade possibly, but then I was reading through and I was like, no, this like is matching what free trade is. Like there's
yeah,
no.
and we never give a definition of what free trade is here for it to be used in a different sense.
Mhm.
Awesome. Citing a non-representative instance.
So I didn't know what non-representative instant meant, but I was thinking like non-representative like sample group. Like I don't know what I was
So
thinking.
something is like a non-representative instance. I think it would be like we should watch this movie because all the kids love it, but we're planning a party for adults. Like we're citing an example that's not representative of what we're trying to use it for. Like why, like all the kids love it, but that doesn't mean that we should use it for the adult party, right?
Mhm.
Like something that just isn't real, or like if we could say because this agreement over here was misnamed and it was invented by the same person. It's like it is like that's non-representative.
Yeah.
All right, so why does D work?
So it works, and I understand why now because I like went to go check it out. And basically, because the author is using Adam Smith to
Yes.
back up his argument and using Adam Smith's philosophy and definition of what free trade consists of. But when I first saw this, I said appealing to a relevant authority, and I was like, is he appealing to me? Like, I'm not like I
Oh,
didn't know
no,
where that was coming from.
the other thing is if you would, and like to test this to see like how necessary it is if you would take out Adam Smith's definition, all of the support would go away because all of this below would be irrelevant.
Yeah, and you're like, where did you even get this from?
Yes. So yeah,
Got
it's
it.
definitely he definitely uses Adam Smith to get there.
So when they say relevant authority, do they mean someone who is like an expert or someone that we can take as trustworthy in what they know?
Well, yeah. Well, it doesn't really matter. We don't. He doesn't even have to be trusted. Like in this author's
Opinion.
viewpoint, he's a trusted, relevant authority, right?
Got it.
Because
Okay.
we're not trying to prove this argument. Like we have no idea truly if this is a valid resource or not. But
Mhm.
this author, I guess, is at least using it as so.
Gotcha.
Because
Okay.
it's just like, how does the argument go to be?